Hello guys, I'm going to be reviewing all of the Jaws movies. Yes, all of them, and we'll be doing them in a ranking by order. So there's four movies in the franchise, and of course we'll be ranking them by the worst in the franchise to the best. So we'll be ranking the which ones are the worst, and there are four movies in the franchise, going from the first, and yeah, there's four movies in the franchise. And I think the worst one is Jaws: The Revenge. This is probably the worst in the franchise. I think everybody can agree that this is the worst movie in the entire franchise. It has the worst score on IMDb, and yeah, the reason why it's the worst in the franchise, I will give it around a 2 or 3 out of 10. The characters are not that great. They're not that memorable. They're from the first few movies, but yeah, it just makes no sense that the worst part about the movie is that they make out like the sock can war. No socks can war. Okay, there's no logic that goes behind this movie. Okay, there's no literal logic. Okay, the third one, I can see why the third one someone can enjoy that one, but this one is like it makes no sense. Oh my God, the sock is going to get revenge on the people because they killed the sock in the first movie, and yay! And socks can war apparently because it's. And yeah, basically, the sock that wants to get revenge on the Brody family for all the other socks that were killed. The plot is the worst movie I've ever seen. Yeah, it is. The plot is just dumb. It makes no sense. It would make a good movie for like a bad movie night if you want to see a bad movie. But yeah, getting revenge on a sock for people for killing other socks. Socks don't really have any emotions either. So yeah, probably the worst in the franchise. And coming in number third is Jaws 3D. Jaws 3D, I think, is it's cheesy. It's not an amazing movie, and yeah, it's not that much better than the last one. But yeah, it has a low score on Rotten Tomatoes, and the problem is that the really bad 3D CGI effects that they put in the movie that's just absolutely laughably bad. And yeah, it's just absolutely laughably it's kind of like a parody of Jaws movies. And yeah, basically it makes no mistake, the first two were much more better than Jaws 3, and yeah, Jaws 3 is it's definitely much better than the fourth one, but yeah, Jaws 3D is really bad. It's probably one of the worst. It's probably the characters again are not really memorable. The movie is kind of boring. It doesn't really keep you interested or invested in the story of the movie. That's like, oh look, socks are in SeaWorld now, and there's a lot of stupid decisions they make in the movie as well, like keeping a baby sock in captivity, even though we all know socks can't be kept. Great white socks can't be kept in captivity, and yeah. Now coming at number two is Jaws 2. Okay, Jaws 2, you know, Jaws 2 is actually, decent. It's like a 6 out of 10 movie. It's pretty entertaining. It's a sequel to the first movie, and yeah, it's kind of like more of the same at the first movie. Instead, these guys go on a raft, even though their parents told them not to, and yeah, they basically learned the lesson at the end of the movie, having to be saved by other people because the sock was going to attack them, and they eventually beat the sock at the end. And yeah, they go onto the island, the remaining people who didn't get eaten by the sock are safe. It's kind of a lot like the first one. Instead it's on a raft where all these people have to basically be on the raft and kind of have to survive the sock. And yeah, it's a pretty decent movie. And yeah, the first, and of course, coming in number one, surprise to nobody, is the first Jaws movie. This movie is a classic. It's about it's the classic of the franchise, and yeah, it's considered one of the greatest movies of probably all time, and probably one of the greatest horror or action movies. This movie keeps you suspenseful throughout the end, where the sock keeps coming back and back, and they have to kill the sock, and at the end, spoilers. They have, of course. But of course, I think everybody's seen this movie already, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, to the two people who haven't seen the first Jaws movie, at the end they have to swim back to shore because the help that they were calling for or backup they got destroyed because he thought that he didn't need any help and stuff. And eventually they beat the sock by shooting it and exploding the bomb essentially, and yeah, the sock is dead, and yeah. Basically, this movie is about it's kind of a very suspenseful movie where, there's a sock out there, but they can't find it, and the sock keeps killing people, and they eventually confront the sock. And yeah, it's a classic movie, and that's basically it. Goodbye. And that's my ranking of all the Jaws movies.